Alright, welcome back everyone. Welcome. Hey Matthias, hope you're doing well. Good evening. You're in Europe, I guess, huh? Whereabouts in Europe? Yes, there is. So we got the Innsbruck KOM on tap today. So I just actually got a decent warm-up in today. Oh. Got in from a 12 and a bit K run. Easy. I think average pace was 4:04 per kilometer. One second. There we go. Yeah, so gotcha. Thank you for joining on your Friday night. So I'll just preface by saying that there may be some lagginess at the beginning. Oh yeah, it's going to be for sure. I'm quite tired right now. So I just had my first swim in a little bit last night, and it was my longest swim in roughly 2 years. So we'll see. And then coming in from the run, I was like, uh-oh. It's going to be interesting. But should be an interesting watch. So I was just going to say, preface by saying there may be some lagginess in the beginning, because there's like 1,000 people in this race, as you can see, and it's growing. So give it until the climb. Yeah, that was pretty good. I didn't even have actually pace on my screen. I just had power and heart rate, and just keeping it kind of mid to upper zone 2 kind of heart rate. But yeah, solid pace. It was actually the best my hamstrings felt in a little while, so it was very good. I was happy with it. We'll see if I regret it now. But in any case, it should be fun to watch. So we'll get the music going. As I said, it may be laggy in the beginning. Just give it a sec until the climb and things will spread out. I don't even know where I am in the group at this point. And by the way, if you're wondering why it says B, everyone's in B. This is the shorter ride of Tour de Zwift. Thank you, Daniel. Let's see what we got. I'm feeling a little smashed, but getting a little worried, but with the swim, it's a bit of a new stress. Oh, easy there, big fella. How's that? You see that? My guy just like rocketed. He was feeling it there. Just for you, Daniel. You joined, my guy goes to the front. That's it. Forget this 30th. Exactly, yeah, it's so it's just the distance. So we go up the Innsbruck, climb, descent obviously, and then just a little ring around the city. Me and this Innsbruck climbs have had our good days and bad. Only time I ever got dropped on a climb in Zwift was on this climb. So it sticks out in my memory, big time, in the KISS Community League. And I've also had some great performances up it as well. Like in the Zwift Academy. Pumped out 375 for about 16. So, we'll see what happens today. Who knows? Here we go. But I'm gonna have time gaps. What are the time gaps? This is bullshit. This is so stupid, I can't see the time gap. This is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea if that time is right. I don't think there's any way I put 6 minutes, but I don't know. Kind of messed up the effort. It was good, but it did kind of mess it up. It's hard to really like push confidently when you have no idea if you're doing damage or not. And I know I'm doing damage. I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like now you see now adjust to 135. So I'm just gonna sweet spot to the finish. See if I can hold this Moore guy off. Seems like at least the group is broken. So we'll hold 300 till the end here and see what that does. Let's go. Let's get that song back on. Let's go. Time's gone again. This is so stupid. Scotty. I need your inspiration, Scotty. This is a Scotty Weiss type move. Patented. The long solo. Wait. Fuck yes!
I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around.
Beautiful. It was a messed up race, but I saw some numbers. It was good numbers. Controls in the end, and enough to kick. Easy peasy. Woo! I'm not even that pumped at the numbers. It was the fact that the numbers felt pretty easy. Beautiful. Oh, we had an influx of messages. I think there was someone mentioned something about the B category. It's Tour de Zwift or Tour or whatever, and so it's the categories are just based on distance. So B is medium race. Anyways, as I said, the numbers just came pretty easy. That's why I'm pumped at that. It wasn't really much of a contest, but it was the fact that it wasn't much of a contest very easily. That's why. I think I may have broke my ribs there, but other than that, you know why? Because it's the frustration of not knowing the gaps mixed with just putting out some good stuff. So adrenaline gets pumping there. I mean, I had a lot left. I could have gotten another lap there. So I think, thank you for all the messages, everyone. Exactly. That's exactly it. What was I going to say? So I think based on this race, right now I have the FTP set at 327. Based on the Ren there from 3 weeks ago. The 20-minute there was like 3:45, but technically like it was like, so Zwift said 3:27, so I just went with it. Even though the 20-minute was 3:45, yes, but I mean the 30-minute was also 3:45. The 40-minute was maybe 3:40, but so it was probably higher than 3:27. But I'd say based on today's race, FTP is 3:40, because at the end there I said I'm gonna hold sweet spot 300, and even with a freewheel section in the middle, I think it was 340 or something like that for the last 10 minutes, and heart rate stayed like pretty steady. Today 59. I ran right before, and so weighed myself right after. Obviously I got a little dehydrated on the run, but I didn't rehydrate before this. So it was 1:30 when I came in from the run, and that's when I clipped it. Didn't pee or anything on the run or whatever, so 59. Anyways, thank you for watching, everyone. Got a lot of new viewers. Appreciate all the support. It wasn't that entertaining of a race. That's why I got pumped up at the end, because it was like, holy jumping. You know, like in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, so like I'm winning this race. Like there's no doubt about it. Like I'm not questioning that. But you kind of start thinking in your head, you're like, what if, you know, what if somehow, like somebody just like drilled the leg snapper at like 11, right? And so they dropped like 20 seconds into me, who was doing like 6, keeping it like, you know, the effort as steady. Where's the leg snapper? It's over there, so it's behind the little thing right now. So cool. Thanks, Noah. Thanks for joining. As I said, it wasn't a super entertaining race. I'm just pumped at the numbers, because like the fact is it wasn't that entertaining of a race, and that's what pumps me up, because like I think I pushed normalized, like so it was 3:13 we saw, right? At the end it was a 3:13. So if it's 3:13 normalized, because there's an entire freewheel down the descent, so I'm gonna call normalized be like 3:35. And so that's like, I don't know, what is that? 5.7? Holy jumping. What is that? 5.67. And so I'm pumped at the fact that 5.67 at the end had me just like, yeah, what the hell, let's just go out of the saddle here and just like pick it up a little bit by the end. Like, you know, it didn't have me keeling over, which is beautiful. Excellent. 3:16, even better. So, thank you. So I mean that means that, yeah, I'm gonna call 3:40, 3:35. I'll say 3:35, because I really didn't let off that much in various spots. So it's pretty steady. But I'd say FTP is 3:40 based on that race. So we'll have gone up for sure. Wish I didn't hit myself in my chest. God darn adrenaline. As I said, not the adrenaline of winning this prestigious race. It's the adrenaline of thinking, I think my FTP's 13 watts higher than what we did, and quite easily. Because it did mess with my head, I'll tell you that. On that mountain. Thank you. For sure. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Like I'm fluctuating 59.60, 59.60 throughout I probably left the door, and now it was like minus 9 million, so that's the thing, like I didn't even sweat that much on the run. But I probably left, you know, 59.7, 59.8, came in 59. So, actually I don't even know what 130 is. I'm assuming, is 130.59 on the dot, or is it like 59.1? Yeah, 59.1. Any case, thanks for watching, everyone. Just gonna cool down for 7 more minutes, and then lunch, and then another smash fest in the pool. I'm guessing it's gonna be like 6K tonight. Long course. Told me that yesterday. Right as I left, they said, "Oh, so you know, tomorrow's long course." And then the coach, Dave, there was like, "No, why'd you tell him? I wanted it to be a surprise." Because long course really separates, weeds people out. I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, it was a good time trial effort, I guess. That's basically what I'll call it. I did have a lot in the end. Lot left in the end. I wish I pushed the last 10 minutes a lot harder. But then again, as I said, I got a 2-hour swim to do tonight, so I'm gonna win the race, get out of here, and yeah, go and get a smash fest in the pool. Get smoked by all these pure swimmers. I'm excited to do so. I smoked all of them on the kick. You should have seen it. I thought like I'd get destroyed right from the start, but we started with like 3x100 kick. That was ripping. Just cruising. I guess I had some pretty good adrenaline going through, because it was kind of a new club, new thing, new everything, and smoked everyone. We got to the swim portion and they were good, but on the kick stuff, I was ripping. Sorry for swearing. I think I swore at the end there, or maybe a couple times throughout, but it was frustrating on that hill. Like, I'm drilling it. This was my game plan. My game plan was, I'm gonna do, you remember that workout from Wednesday night? I'm gonna do that workout, but without the recovery in between. So, I'm gonna go 400 for, you know, until the heart rate gets into 180. Because it's a race, might get a little higher, maybe 192, something like that. Until I feel like we're really working. And then we're gonna hit the lap button. We're gonna go 5 minutes at what feels like threshold. And then we're gonna do it one more time. And then hopefully by then, the end's in sight. End of the climb. And I'll put out to like a big, solid number. But when the times disappeared, it messed with my head quite a bit. Look at this cool down at 50 RPM. Lovely. This is how you really let the legs just relax and just settle down. Beautiful. Beautiful. Do some reps. Any case, so it kind of messed with your head at the end when the times disappear there. And you're like, okay, so I can see their powers, and clearly I'm doing more power. So I'm clearly putting time into them. 59 to 60 goal weight. I wouldn't even say it's a goal weight. I'd say I just usually just end up staying around there. Like, I don't really like, I wouldn't say I really work to stay at that weight. It's just, it's like, I just end up staying there kind of the whole time. I think the heaviest I ever was like fall of 2019. I think there was a couple days there where I was seeing like 137, 138 pounds, that is. A few days for like a week, something like that. And then I had Indian Wells, and I'd say before Indian Wells it went right back down to like maybe 134, 132, something like that. But that 2019 was the heaviest I've ever been in the fall, that is. Wasn't running, which affected things. But I'd say for the most part, I wouldn't say it's a goal weight. Like, I always just kind of end up there. Like, especially like when I'm running, I mean. Like, when I'm running, it's like, eat whatever I want, really. If I don't eat a lot, if I eat too much, you wake up the next day and you're like, basically the same. The body just kind of drifts towards it all the time. Anyways, 2 more minutes, and then we'll look at this graph. Yeah, for sure. It makes sense, yeah, running will do that. Running will take it down, for sure. When I was first started running, and when I got like at my highest mileage, I was way too light. So I went to the other end of the spectrum. So I used to do exactly what you're talking about like having a race weight and a training weight. And so at race weight, I was like 115 pounds. I wasn't running, or I wasn't biking or swimming at that time. So I was like 115, and when I was training, I was like 117, 118, somewhere around there. I don't know what that is in kilograms, 53? I think at York we did some lab stuff, and I see in my things whenever we did like the anthropometric things, seeing like 115 pounds, 117 pounds, in around there. It's too light. Hence, 900 stress fractures. So, gotta be careful. So I wouldn't recommend training to a weight. I'd just let your body do what it wants to do. Eat. Body needs it. And whatever weight you end up being, you end up being. As I said, for me, it just ends up being about 130 to 132. Really, no matter what. I eat till I'm full, and that's it. Makes sense, yeah. Alright, let's just finish this lap up, and then we get this show on the road. Again, thank you everyone for watching. I think we had like 16 viewers at one point, which for a peak concurrent is pretty good. Pretty good. I wish I did some different things in that race, but I can't be too critical. I wish after the times disappeared, I just kept to my game plan. I didn't end up doing the second surge that I wanted. I ended up just kind of keeping it bang on. But I mean, it worked because, you know, coming down the hill there, we had enough to do some sprints. And, what was I going to say? Enough to do some sprints, and then more than enough at the end. Thank you, Noah. Sorry to keep this going so long. I just need to get anything out of the legs, and then we'll be off. And then I'll let folks go. I mean, you can go now. I'm not keeping it. But the graph will be on Strava at the end if you're interested in seeing. I'm just going to keep cooling down until I feel like everything's been cleared and we're feeling fresh and ready to go. I have a bad feeling that we're going to be doing some just very difficult stuff tonight. They said it was going to be hard. Last night I thought it was hard. Being the first swim in a little while, so it's going to be intense. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. I think I could go sub 16 on that climb. It was what, 16:25? I think sub 16 for sure. Like, is well within capabilities. It's hard to just like absolutely drill it when you know, A, as I said many times now, you have no idea what's going on behind you. And B, you know you got 12, 13, 14 minutes after this with a descent where you're going to have to keep it on a little bit, right? Because if they're in a group, and I don't know if they're in a group or not, and that's kind of what I mean with the gap, right? I know I have a gap, that's for sure. What I don't know is it 20 guys together? Because if it's 20 guys together, and I got a 40-second gap, let's say at the top, or even a minute gap at the top, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough to hold off, especially if you're not really intending on, or you're not pacing yourself, to just like unleash on the leg snapper there. Like I knew when I came over the mountain, I'm like, we're gonna keep it steady. Come the leg snapper, we're going to continue to keep it steady. Because, as I said many times, I don't want to completely break myself here if I don't have to. And B, I think I'm going to have to basically just keep it on the whole time. Right? You can't do a surgy style, like on this section here. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to sit where I'm sitting right now and then just like unleash on the leg snapper. The best way to hold them off is going to be just hold, sweet spot, threshold, basically, consistently. Maybe bring it up a little bit if you can, but that's it. So, legs are starting to come around now. As soon as I start seeing, as I'm seeing now, 200s come back without really putting a concerted effort before, like, we are at, what, 130 watt average through the last 10 minutes after the race. I'm not going to get off right then. I'm going to keep going until we're back where we are now. So now we're pretty good. Indicates to me, at least, that, yeah, we're recovered. Junk is gone. Well, we might as well just go to an hour. As I said, the stream's over. I appreciate everyone watching, and this is just painful at this point for you, I guess. The graph will be on Strava at the end, and I'll just keep the thing on for anybody who's really gleaming. I better to see it, but I'm not going to get off at 57. Went through quite a bit of water. Good stuff. Yeah, I wish I did the climb like more aggressive, but I'm trying to keep some in reserve, which I think is the right decision. Given that I don't really know if they're in a group, I'm trying to just stay above his watts, whoever I see in the front, and just keeping in mind, you got about 12 minutes, 13 minutes after this. So, keep that in mind. The thing's bumping up. Welcome, people who are just tuning in. The race finished about 20 minutes ago. Recapped. started out, surprisingly, the computer was incredible. The fact that we had 1,200 people, but just kept around 5 watts per kilo. Had no idea like where the front was, because there's, as I said, approximately 1,200 people in the race here, and so just kept steady. I'll get to the front eventually. And then we got to the first climb. Don't want to do that climb again. Got to the first climb, or the climb, Innsbruck KOM. And yeah, the race was over at that point. I attacked on a bad section, if I could be critical. I attacked like right at the bottom. Like right at the, you know, the marker. But the Innsbruck climb stays flat, as you saw. It stays really flat for the first few hundred meters. And so that was kind of a stupid spot to attack, because like the group, the draft and double draft is on in this race. I saw that in the description. Double draft was on. So I mean, with double draft on, like that was a really bad, not a smart place to attack. But what am I going to do 30 seconds in? Say, oh well, this was not good. This was not intelligent. Let's drop back to the group and we'll restart. You know, a kilometer down the road. Now you gotta stay with it at that point. Settled in, went 2 minutes at about 400, and then settled in to about 341, 342 for the next 5 minutes. Went up to I think 390 for a minute and a bit, and then last, I guess 7 minutes or so, 7-8 minutes, put it back to about 340, 345, stayed steady, did some little surging on the descent, and then stayed away. This entire time we had no idea where the group was, because the thing was glitching, like the Zwift wasn't telling me the time gap. But nonetheless got down the descent with what looks like approximately a 2-minute gap, and then thought I'll just hold sweet spot till the end. Ended up holding what I guess is basically now threshold. So it's around 340 for the last 10 minutes, and that felt really like, it felt controlled. It did, truly did. And that's why I got very pumped at the end, because I thought, whoo, it's January. And like, threshold's 340. Elite, like, wow. And 340, like, after an effort. Hit my chest really hard. Probably got a good bruise. But nonetheless, I'm happy with the gains in fitness. Yeah, so 337. The climb was, so all-time best is 375 for 20 minutes, not 344. But, and this should be higher too, 426 or something. But 337 is going to include 3 minutes of the descent. So I wonder what the power was there on the actual climb. Let's see what this looks like. Woo! You see that? That looks like somebody whose FTP is not set right. That's what that looks like. That looks like. By the way, the weirdest thing was that stream from the other night. I think even here it's messed it up. The stream from the other night. This looks messed too, actually. It looked like it recalibrated my threshold or something, because it looked like all those 7-minute efforts or whatever were just all done at threshold, all done at zone 5, when in reality it was the big red, and then recover at threshold or whatever. So is it yellow or whatever, but it showed it as red, which was kind of weird. And here, I don't remember these being red either. Maybe it was. I don't know. Anyways, good. Let's just see what the thing is, if anyone's still around here. Let's see what the... Definitely FTP's set way too low, because that looks like death, and it wasn't. So, like, this looks like... Here's where, like, based on those colors, this is where someone would collapse. And then they would just not pedal. And then they would be like, I'm just going to hold for dear life, and probably end up being about here. Like in the blues. Not do that again. So this is a threshold that's too low. It should be 340, I think. So let's see what the 16-minute power was. It's not bad. 6 watts per kilo. So it's 6 watts per kilo. That's the climb. And then if we include the descent, and then that, let's say 30-minute power. Let's go to 30-minute power. Ooh, baby. So about there. 324 for 31.39 with a descent. A significant descent. Good stuff. That's why I was pumped up, because I knew it was going to be some good numbers there. Beautiful. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Sorry this was way longer than the actual race. Once again, it's just, as you know, as I've explained many times, with this machine, I do not like to touch that many things. Past, like the stream worked really well. We're not going to blow it here at the end. So, anyways, I'll probably get a copyright claim on that one song, but it's worth it. Beautiful. Anyways, thanks again for watching, everyone. If I didn't get anyone's questions, let me just drift quickly through. What a necro. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Lee. Beautiful. Thank you, everyone. Who is that? Dom? Thank you. Wow, we got a lot of new viewers. Thank you, everyone, and sorry if I missed any views from earlier, or any comments from earlier. I was just kind of locked in, and also at the same time wondering, where are they? Because I can't see the time gap. So anyways, happy wildcard weekend. This is the best weekend in football for those football fans out there. Talking NFL. Wildcard weekend is always pretty awesome. Ooh. Alright. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll catch you. If people like that live stream, I think it got some pretty good views. So I'll do another live stream probably Wednesday. My schedule for next week's gonna kind of like get tossed around a little bit, just because the swim is now going to take over some significant training stress. So, anyways, I'll try to get you next Wednesday, and if not, I'll let you know on social media, like Instagram and Strava, if you're following me there. Anyways, thanks again. Catch you later.